Digimon Adventure, episode 21. It's your boy GM. How's it going, Digidestin? After seeing this episode, I feel like the entire series went on a whole new pace, a more dramatic one. Like, it really changed the tone for everything. Like, it's really not the same after what I've seen in this episode. Moreover, it has become a war on two fronts. We got the real world with Izzy, Sora, Joe, and Mimi, and in the digital world with Taichi, Yamato, and Takeo. I am going to start with what's happening in the real world. You got Joe, Mimi, Kushiro, and Sora. We got a glimpse of some other family members as well that were very noteworthy in the old Adventure 01 and 02 series. Mimi was having breakfast with her family. Her grandfather and her parents, they have the same design, except for the grandfather, he's a new character that was introduced in the series. Joe, his big brother, we saw him encouraging him a little bit more by giving him a runaway bag. So he was always a figure in Joe's life that always kept him on pushing him, encouraging him, to go outside the box, and that's what we're seeing in this interaction between those two. Kushida was able to update the Digivices, so now each Digidescent can communicate with their own Digimon. So far, from what I've seen from Kushida, the guy seems to be even more intellectual and intelligent than he was in the first version of the Digimon Adventure series. Sora and Kushida realizes that there's an evil Digimon that is interrupting a network communication systems towards a ship, Calamaraman, and that same Digimon is making sure that that certain ship is heading straight to the port without stopping. Collision course, bam! What's even surprising is that Calamaraman is controlling an army of Algomon. That same tiny Digimon that kept on digivolving to a point that Omegamon had to interfere? Yeah. So those things by packs, if they keep on digivolving on their own, well, we all know what's gonna happen. And I'm sorry, but Goemon, Tentomon, Palmon, and Beelmon, they're not gonna be any match. As much as they could digivolve to ultimate levels, it took Omegamon to deal with this problem. I love these Digimons, but they're gonna need a lot more firepower. Like, they need to get rid of Calamaramon. Needless to say, I do believe that thanks to Kushiro's update of the Digivices, the Digimon inside the internet will be able to digivolve just fine. It will be just like our war game. Like, even though they were separated, they're gonna be able to digivolve to their ultimate levels to fight this new threat. Hmm. At least I think so. Now, back to the digital world. Skull Knightmon, along with Dark MetalGreymon's, escaped to the tower to stash the stolen Digi-Egg. And in the meantime, Taichi and Yamato, along with their Digimon, are fighting against Splashmon. And this Digimon in particular draws power from the miasma. A good throwback to the Digimon Cross War series. As you know, Splashmon was also a villain in that series as well. And in this one, in this episode, as we were talking about, man, Splashmon was a brute. Like, the guy, that Digimon was ruthless against two ultimate level Digimon as Wergarurumon and MetalGreymon. He really gave them a run on their money. When I saw Wergarurumon being KO'd and reverting back to Gabumon, I was like, whoa, okay, like, this is it. Like, MetalGreymon, man, you're gonna suffer a lot. And he did. Especially when Splashmon almost bit off his arm and he was infected by the miasma. Yo, when the chump happened, oh my god, I was like, oh shit. Like, I really got goosebumps, and I was like stressed. I was stressed out when I was watching this episode. I was like, what the hell's gonna happen? I mean, they're gonna prevail somehow, but the way I was seeing it, it was desperate. Like, it was dangerous, And so I love how this episode really gave the viewer a sense of almost hopelessness. And damn, Taichi, my boy, hot-headed, he doesn't give a shit. He runs towards Splashman to save MetalGreymon. And even though that is the miasma is burning his hands, like he's not no, like I'm not gonna give up like that. Like we were called to this world to save it and our own at the same time. It's not gonna end like that. And I know it might be cheesy a little bit, I'm not gonna lie, but that is just how Taichi is, always has been, always will be. And I love that about him. And that encouragement, that empowerment gave Metal Gear that boost of power. And he exploded in a golden, mighty power of golden light. Look, it was pretty cool. Although I'm not gonna lie, when I saw Metal Greymon exploding in that golden light of power, I was afraid that we were going to get War Greymon, and I was like, oh man, it's too early. Like, I'm not gonna say it's a bad thing, but at the beginning of the series, we already saw um, Omega Man within 3 episodes. So for me, it was way too quick to see War Greymon. Even though he's in terms of level, he's right under Omega Man. So I didn't want uh, War Greymon to appear right away. But something even better happened. It was just an update. Like his arm was glowing and he had a freaking railgun. I was like, what? What? Holy shit. I did not see that coming. I thought that would have just been a boost of power, Giga Cannon, and bam, like it's done for. No, like a new update of his ultimate level, like a freaking railgun. Yo, that was so dope. Of course, with that update, he annihilates Splash One within a second. Really cool moment in that episode. And I love the fact that instead of digivolving to a whole new level, that current levels can get an update. So am I'm really hoping to see that towards each Digimon, and I'm guessing that they might use that to to stall a little bit against the real threat or whatsoever. Nevertheless, we are already at the third of the series, so I'm wondering, are we gonna get to see other bad guys like we've seen before, Edamon, the Dark Masters, or is it gonna be mainly Devimon? Or it could be Devimon controlling all of those bad guys in this new series. Who knows? But I really hope that we get to see new other threats. So that's for sure. They're gonna get to the real world. Like there's gonna be a battle of Digimons in the real world. That's gonna be that's for sure. But so far it's third of the series, we've seen nothing but Devimon lurking in darkness. But again, only time will tell. I love Takeo in this episode because even though he was told by Yamato to stay put, be safe, nah, I'm gonna have my own little adventure. Screw that. Um, I remember he found a holy feather belonging to Angemon. Um, Takeo just took his courage in both hands and decided to go down a freaking dark pit full of miasma. Like really, like for 8-year-old, my God, this kid has guts. When he finally arrives at the lower level, he spots a giant eyeball, and that surprises him. And his Digivice fall, and when that eye is staring at the Digivice, Takeru takes it and points towards it, and it emits a holy light. And I don't know if you remember in the first version of Digimon Adventure, Yamato and Taichi did the same thing towards Leomon and got rid of him from a dark gear. I mean, back then, like every Digimon that had a dark gear were turned evil, and the light of the Digivices were able to break the spell and the dark control over them. So I feel like this is the same thing that happened. Like like that the giant eyeball that belonged to Eldoradimon, a mega level Digimon and the size of an island almost, a castle I would say, but still the guy is very huge. Anyways, so yeah, so I feel like the light of the Digivice has the power to repel darkness, and it did the same thing because Eldoradimon was trapped underground by the forces of darkness, and thanks to Takedo's effort, he was able to be freed. And it was, and you know, it's still, it has a lot. There's a lot to be done because as Eldorado, sorry, Eldoradimon, as he opened his head, like the Digidestin had to go inside to completely free him of the darkness inside of him because his whole body is like a base. So yeah, there's still work to be done, and they still have to go and save the Digi egg that was born from Angemon's demise. With that said, I think this was a great episode. I really loved it. I feel like the pace and the atmosphere of the series completely changed with that episode. Now we're heading towards something very different. The fact that it introduced updates on while for Digimon that while staying on the same level, I think that was very clever. Um, and also about Takeo and his Digimon that's gonna be Patamon. I feel like this Digimon will remain at the rookie level for a long time because let's be honest, Angemon is OP. Like for champion level, the guy is ridiculously OP. So I feel like we're only gonna see Angemon when needed, considering that he's a holy Digimon, you know, holy equal powerful equal very 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 OP powerful. So they might use that only when needed. But then again, it's pretty much about a war with light versus darkness. So and considering how Devimon is really dominating in the shadows, perhaps we might see Angemon more often than we did in the first series. But again, that is just my point of view. Tell me your thoughts about this episode and any theories you got. Comment, rate, subscribe, share this video, much appreciated. Also, do not forget to encourage my manga project called Hard Warfare. The link is in the description. Check it out. And thank you for watching this video. So I'll catch you guys next week. In the meantime, please do me a favor. We're your homeboy. Take care of yourselves. See ya.